Okay, ni hao ma. Good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 18,000 currency traders. How cool is that, huh? So today I propose we go through the calendar to set up the event risks for the week, and it could be an event risk, it could be an event opportunity. We can cover technical and fundamental analysis. We can cover dollar pairs, yen pairs. We can talk about gold and oil. We could talk about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. But ultimately, you're the boss. So thank you for being part of our community. Let's get on with it. Let's go! Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. So, guten Morgen. Wow, are you excited for another trading week? In fact, I'm hoping that this week and next week are fantastic weeks, and that just has to do with seasonality, so I'm all good. So, again, let me know what you would like to cover today, and I will do my best to address those concerns or needs that you may have. If I don't get to it today, guess what? I'm doing a webinar tomorrow. I'm doing a webinar on Wednesday. I'm doing a webinar on Thursday, and then again on Friday. Okay? So cool. So I'm here all week. In fact, we're getting pretty close to 20 years of me doing daily Forex trading webinars. So I've been around and I'm staying around. So cool. So let me know how it can help. I will do my absolute best. Again, fair game is technical analysis, fundamental analysis, macroeconomics, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah. And let me know the specific pair and I'll do my best. Today, I really will probably burn through the calendar, then do dollar and yen, commodities. We can do a couple of cryptos and then we be out of here. Okay? So thank you for all the positive energy and focus that you put into this thing called Forex. I'd also like to thank Traders Way for being a part of our community as well. Hey, if you need a broker, why don't you try tradersway.com? Yes, competitive spreads. Yes, fast execution. But ultimately, what you need is trust, and they've earned my loyalty and respect. See if they can earn yours. Visit Traders Way and open up a demo account. tradersway.com. And here we are. Here's the Forex.Today news calendar. I have it sorted so it's just high impact. Take a look at what's going on in the world. Bank of Canada way out on Wednesday. Cool. Can I check gold? Sure. Yeah, way out Wednesday, we got Bank of Canada. So if you were going to try to front run it, today would be your day. Okay. Interest rates out of ECB. Of course, they're not going to do anything, but maybe we can learn something from forward guidance. CPI out of the United States. That's a hot topic right now. So that could be volatility, but ultimately, I don't think it will change anything, but it will still add volatility because of its sensitivity to current sentiment. Okay. Okay. Also, Biden's going out to the G7 meeting. So maybe something happens there. Generally not. It's sort of like the tax thing that they did. They set up over the weekend. It's a nice press conference, but it won't change a damn thing. Cool. Friday, GDP out of the UK. Again, backward looking. We're much more concerned about future dates. right? While you're at Forex.Today, feel free to use the Commitment to Traders report, which is a beauty. Okay. Okay. And you can see there's a buildup of buying euro. Yeah, I know. But we're already on those trades, and we have been for weeks. You could also go to the currency index over here. Oh, for sure. Okay. So yen and dollar are quite weak. Okay. Pretty cool, right? Euro coming up, pound coming down. Okay. So pound and euro converging, yen and dollar are converging. Cool. This thing in the middle, we call that Swissy, right? Neutral. Might be interesting if you're trying to create a market neutral portfolio, you'd be heavily on the Swiss. So looking at the same thing from a different point of view, dollar is weakening and the yen is getting strong. What's on my top right? Your top, my top right? I don't know. I changed the what I watch. Generally, it's like, you know, Bloomberg, CNBC, and then I'll throw on like Canadian news. I'll throw on Al Jazeera, you know, and stuff like that. Just taking a look at various things. Why yen strong? Well, expected seasonality. I'm surprised it took this long to get strong. Okay. But we talked about it over a month ago, probably close to 2 months ago, that there would be this dichotomy, this rotation from yen outperformance to suddenly dollar outperformance. And by outperformance, I mean weak. Okay. So once again, sort of seasonal profit taking. Okay, so what else is going on? Aussie was, you know, pretty weak a few days ago. Now it's strong, great. Euro's coming off a little bit. CAD sort of neutral. Okay, pound sort of on again, off again. So you kind of have to be careful. Okay, kind of have to be careful what you're doing. Let me set this up. Hang on. Let's put this back to Kiwi. La 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 la. All right, so let's do a quick round the world. We'll start with the commodities. My oh my, WTI, still Oscar Mike. Let me get rid of that. That's in the way. Okay. Still Oscar Mike, which is great. Mohammed said, you expect USD to strengthen again? No, no, not at all. Nope. Okay. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down. And you can see we've had a buy earlier today on a roll reversal. Okay. Nice, right? Cool, right? It's good for good for bulls, I should say. Good for those that believe in macroeconomic expansion. We talked about this maybe even during non-farm payrolls on Friday, and but you know, if you're following OPEC, the recent OPEC decision was they feel comfortable with increasing supply. Okay. Cool. So Mohammed, what that means to me is dollar weakness. Okay. What's up, RJ? Cool, right? So anyways, climbing high. Very, very cool. Thank you, WTI. I appreciate you. All right. Here we are on the Gilly Gold. Did you guys read the Reserve Bank of India's statement? Hang on, let's see if I can find it. This is just a random article. I have no idea what this is, but it's random. But maybe it gets you where you need to go. I have no idea what this is. Sorry. But again, play around with it. Wayne, how do I get your pivots on MT4? You go to metatraders.com. Okay. All right, Davey. They're normally $1,000, David, but they're on sale right now for $5. Boom, boom, boom. It's a good deal, right? Normally $1,000, but if you act right now, it's only $5. But you must act. Yeah, catch it at 5, right? All right. So yeah, Brent. Again, Brent we're using for correlation with the Norwegian crown or kroner or krona or whatever it is. Okay. Caught on the M3. Okay. But again, if you're a bull, you're probably playing it out of position, which means you're kicking it off the 4-hour 21. So right now it's tight. It's tight. Okay. But there's the bullish out of position, OOP. Okay, and the target is 73.67, maybe 74. Let's just say 74. Okay, that's the bullish target. Bears are going to try to rotate this around at 72, and make a lower low. Okay. Right now that technically isn't in the cards. Wayne, why would a central bank hoard dollar reserves when there is a shift to dollar weakness for the next year? They're trying to lower the value of the Indian rupee, Nelson. So you might look at some of my past videos, probably 3 months ago and then maybe 6 months ago. I had highlighted their activity, okay? And it has to do with COVID wave 1 and COVID wave 2 in India. Okay, what happens is when families are locked into their apartments and you're not allowed to leave, you're going to need cash. Okay, you're going to need cash. So Indians have been bringing money home, driving up the value of the Indian rupee. But that hurts their economy since they're an exporting nation. So the Bank of India wants to lower the value of the Indian rupee, but what they don't want to do is increase money supply. So instead, they shift assets on their balance sheet so that they end up buying gold, for example, or dollars, or 10-year T-notes, or something like that. And so instead of having cash on the balance sheet, they have gold on the balance sheet. But what do you care if you have $1 billion worth of assets or $1 billion worth of gold in assets? Assets are assets, and the balance sheet doesn't change, but the value of the Indian rupee falls. Okay? That's the quick explanation. Okay? Now, the interesting thing is that's what we do as foreign exchange traders. You have to know stuff like that. Yeah, well, Sangam, I don't know what you're talking about. RBI selling gold in 1992 to weaken the currency. That makes no sense. So I don't know where you get that. It's right. Maybe it makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, when you watch the cartoon Cars, the old racing car is telling Lightning McQueen, you have to steer right to turn left. And you're like, wow. So maybe you got something going on there. But that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, just understand the flow. Okay. All right. So, I don't know, Sangam. So, you know, do your research. You can be the expert on that one. Okay. What's going on in the world of Ether? How much? All right. Okay, cool. Nice. Pretty basic swing trade going on here. You can see the monthly plan. We have the monthly entry last week. Okay. That's an MM2. So that should take us to MM4. Now this week, for example, you got your Friday front run here, and that should get us to 32.30 or 32.22222. Okay? So that's good. So it started here at 22.22, and we should end this week at 32.22, and has the potential to go higher by the end of the month, ultimately on our way to 47.37. Okay? You got that? So we're starting at 22 and we're going to 42, let's say. It's actually 47. 40, right? Pretty good, right? What's up, Adam? How's the weather? Hot! And sunny. What was it like yesterday? Hot! And sunny. Sangam, I don't use TradingView just to make you mad. Boop, boop. Cool. What else should we look at? I guess just Biddy. I mean, so we still got this, right? Yet another Elon tweet. Okay, fine. Look, if you're cool with that asset class, great. All right, we're still in a bullish zone, although the technical analysis isn't bullish. Okay. So I'm going to shift it out. I'm going to do a confluence and try to guess who's in control here. You have one entry that should take you up here, technically speaking. You should be buying it at 35, taking it to 40. It can actually go higher than 40. Okay. Now, the bearish side of this is going to take it down back to 30. So you have to decide, do you think it's going to 40 or do you think it's going to go to 30? Your answer to that, your decision on that obviously indicates whether you're bullish or bearish. Right now, it's sort of indifferent because you can see traders are respecting the central here and the M2 here. Okay. So the target here is, 33 on the short run. Okay. That's the short run. Okay. So anyways. Okay. So you'll see, even if we head up, the best you could expect is the monthly central. And if we head down, we're looking at this for the week, 31, let's say, 31, 32 for the week. Okay. But right now, we're just floating in the bullish buy zone, but the monthlies are not really being supported that much. You see that? Now, I have some limit ins. I'll pick it up at 33, 33, 33. I'll pick it up at 30, and I'll pick it up at 25. Okay? Nothing to that except guesswork. How does Norway and Brent crude correlate? Well, Brent crude is sold by Norway, so they would benefit from high prices, and their economy would be hindered by low prices. Cool. So anyways, there's your crypto world. Take a look at here. Okay. Peso, ripper hot right now. Very cool. Okay. Very, very, very big move on peso. Okay. I'm a big believer in the Mexican economy. If you recall, we're at 20, and I suggested that someday we should be back at 10. How many pairs am I in at one time? Well, last week I was in 11 on this account, but I don't have that many now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just 7. So I got knocked out of a lot of trades, a lot of break-even trades, but I'm still up 2,100 pips, which ain't bad. Okay. Cool. So here's last week's re-entry. And now what? We got the same thing. So this is kind of interesting. What is my view on Kiwi versus pound? Well, is there a lot of trading activity between Great Britain and New Zealand? What percentage of the economies of either the pound or New Zealand are impacted by that trading relationship? If it's near zero, then you're not actually trading, okay? The pair, you're looking at relative strength. So in that case, you're going to have to look at Kiwi, okay? And then you're going to have to look at pound and decide whether that's the right trade for you to be making. Okay. So your relative strength is what you need to be doing. So I look at this, Kiwi is strong, pound is strong. It sounds pretty dumb to me. Okay. AR, doesn't make sense. Pound is gaining strength in the moment. Kiwi's been strong for a couple of days. It just sounds like a really dumb idea. You're putting strong with strong. Seems like you could probably find something better to do. Taking a look at yen, we know yen has gotten strong. Do we have opportunities? Okay. What do you think here? Well, it's a good climb. Aussie finally found support at 84, clearly using the pivot points. So you can see somebody I know has already suggested a trade plan for the entire month of June. Okay. Why would I want to use 100 EMA? Okay. Yeah, what is that going to tell me? Let's talk about that just briefly, just so it makes sense. Why do I use EMAs? Most people use EMAs because they're just dumb. And they're like, well, if I only knew the average of the last 100 candles, then maybe I can make a decision. Of course, that's dumb. Okay, great. So why do you use an EMA? I use 2 short-term EMAs as a trigger. Okay, which means I've decided to buy something. So when when you get a 5A cross, you buy it. Done. It measures overbought and oversold conditions of price. Okay, great. Then I use 2 medium-term EMAs, right, to analyze the market. What's the market conditions? Okay, 200 is a trend, which is long-term fair market value. Why would I need something in the middle? Okay. And the answer to that is probably what is happening is that somebody only uses one chart. So maybe they're using TradingView and they only have one chart. And if they want to look at a different chart, then they have to change their time frame, and then they have to change their time frame, and then they have to change their time frame, and then they have to change the time frame, and somehow having something in the middle of everything, it's not long term, it's not short term, it's in between term, would be helpful because it's mimicking something important on different time frames. Okay, so like 100 EMA on a 15-minute chart, like what does it actually, right? What does it actually represent? For most people, it's a line. That's what it means. For most people, it's a line. It doesn't represent anything. Okay? So it doesn't make any sense. If it doesn't represent anything, why would you use it to make a decision? Because it doesn't mean anything to you. So instead, I like to look at, market analysis first, then I look at price analysis, but more importantly to that, I'm looking at multiple time frames. Okay? I don't want, right? So for example, 100 EMA might be on one time frame represent a 21 EMA on a different time frame. I would just use the different time frames. But anyways. All right, so Aussie's doing its best. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. So anyways, we're at 33, right? 133 is a potential buy. You can see I've already highlighted this for you guys back on non-farm payrolls. Okay, so you might have been wishing for this. Okay, when you were saying your prayers, you were wishing for this. Okay. Dewall's like, hey, how do you figure out where to buy or sell? That's just called trading, which is totally funny because that's the whole point. So I would make a recommendation. If you don't know where to buy and sell, stop trading, stop investing, because that's the whole point, right? That's interesting. Okay. The easy answer to that is your macroeconomic outlook of future supply and demand, which makes you bullish or bearish. And then the whole point of technical analysis is to tell you the right time and at the right price to buy. Right? So, right? So, Deval, we're looking at this and, right, this breaks things down. Okay? We're at a central pivot point representing the beginning of let's say reasonable prices in which a bull might be interested in buying. Okay. On that, right? Okay. FD9 says, hey, can we discuss why people say mortgage is a liability? Because you owe somebody money. It's a liability. Okay. So it comes down to your equity, which is an asset. You could sell your equity to me if you want, because it's an asset. You have equity and you have debt. Debt is a liability. Debt is a mortgage. You owe the bank. In fact, the bank gets paid first. So what you want to do is buy out your investing partner, the bank. Okay? Through amortization, at some point in the life of the investment, you'll go from 20% equity to 100%, and they'll go from 80% equity to 0. Okay? But if you owe somebody money, it's a liability. Okay? And if you run into a challenging time and you can't pay the bank, you lose all your equity. Okay? Okay? What most people misinterpret is debt is a bad thing. Well, okay, if you owe the mafia money, that's a bad debt. If you have $10,000 on a credit card, that's a bad debt. You have $100 million in real estate debt, that's a good debt. The difference is you own assets with a market value of more than $100 million. The issue is owning an asset versus having simply consumed. Spending your money versus investing your money. So if you own a mortgage, A, you have equity already built in because you had to put 20% down or more. But B, the idea is the asset will appreciate in value in the future, which is good. But also at some point, your asset can generate income. Now, if you live in the asset, in a sense, it is paying you income, right? And then you spend the income back by giving it to the mortgage holder, for example, the bank. You're paying back the bank. You're kind of paying yourself the rent and then spending the rent on the mortgage. But you could move away, put somebody in your asset, and they pay the bank their money, right? And so it can generate an income. So anything that generates an income, right, has a value, a cash flow. It's the study of finance. That's what the study of finance is. If there's going to be a monthly payment of rent every month for the next 10 years, what's the property worth? Well, how much is the rent? How much are the expenses? How quickly will the mortgage be paid down, which means their expenses are coming down? How quickly will it depreciate? How much inflation is there in the economy? How much reinvestment because of depreciation will it need in the future? And you start plugging all these numbers in, and then you do the time value of money, right? Because a dollar today versus a dollar 10 years from now have different values. But ultimately, you can put it all into an Excel spreadsheet, hit a button, go click, and it will say your asset based on these cash flows and these assumptions of costs and returns and equity ownership and inflation and the time value of money will say this property is worth $1,322,622.42832.056 Well, you'll just round it up. Okay? But you get a very precise number. And ultimately what it says is if you have an asset that appreciates and provides income, it's good debt. I don't care if it's $1 worth of debt or $1 billion worth of debt. It's a good thing. But you got $5,000 on a credit card because you went to Mexico and got drunk for a week, and then you came home and you made a purchase of a 4K TV at Walmart. That's dumb. Okay. That's the poor getting poorer. Okay. You should never, ever, 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 ever spend your money. Ever. You should never spend your money. Never. You should only invest your money. So, right? And I've told the story before where one of my kid's friends came over and he looked around and he's like, "Where are your TVs?" Okay? I can't afford a TV. They're too expensive. See, a $400 TV, if you just take the $400, invest it in the stock market for 20 years, that's going to cost me $20,000 to buy a 55-inch 4K TV. I'm like, I can't afford that. I'm not giving up $55,000 for a TV. Well, someone else says, it's only $400. They buy the TV. Yeah, but when they get old, they have no money. So anyways, David says, the way Americans use debt is bad. I know lots of Americans that use debt very well. All right. So taking a look at here, pound is trying to recover, kitty cat's trying to recover, but these are not good entries. Okay, we have some possible entries that we've identified, several days ago. But technically, this is no good. It had potential last week. It's too low right now. So somebody asked, how do you make these decisions? Well, you're going to have to learn technical analysis. Okay? This looks like, yes, as a bull, I want to buy low, but not this low. So it can still turn north. Well, I'm going to need now a charting pattern, a technical pattern, like a double bottom before I get in. To say differently, I'm not interested at this price. Okay? Or if I am interested at this price, not at this time. Okay, maybe I catch a double bottom at this price 2 days from now. I'll say it's risky, but I'm going to play it like range bound, and I'll have here. So again, this chart only shows you price on this side and time on the bottom. So right now it's not at this time. Okay, I don't like this time, and currently I don't actually like the price. Okay. Which is way different than many traders. Many traders just simply say they're a bull on CAD yen, which is fine, and they keep buying it, right, as it falls. And really bad traders justify this by dollar cost averaging, which is their admittance to having no idea about how to trade or how to manage risk. And that's usually your financial advisor. Cool. So maybe we'll pick it up on the daily 21, let it come down, tickle 90, and I might be interested. Hua? Mubarak says, hey, gold. Well, where were you when we looked at gold? But I guess I could do it again for you guys. Mubarak, maybe subscribe so you get alerted to so you could be here at the beginning of the webinar. But I've already done commodities, but I can go back. Taking a look at USD, let's see where we are on this sucker. Okay. And yeah, it's trying. It's trying. That's pretty good. You might have had an entry. It's a swing long. What's that, Marina? The stream is awful with all the what? Let me know what's going on, Marina. Let's get it fixed. I'm not sure what you're saying. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like Mubarak trying to hustle the... Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Like I am a student 22. I have a decent portfolio of $1,000 and growing it by time. And I am thinking of the future and my dream house. And I am pounded to take a mortgage. Okay. Yeah, you want to own an asset, Gatsby. Yeah. Is this a buy limit? Yeah, I set that, I don't know, several days ago. Okay. USD Kitty Cat. Let's take a look. I got to zoom in. Zoom. Okay. Nice. Trying to survive here. Trying to get through the morning. Okay. You can see where I am here. Okay. Just short at 21. And we're held up at 2050. So this is pretty bad for me. This big old wick is pretty bad. Okay, so we'll see if we can get either Canadian dollar strength based out of the news on Wednesday. Okay, maybe oil continues up. Maybe the stock market rallies, that kind of thing. We need some good macro data on Kitty Cat, but it could just be people worried. Okay. Sangam wants to know the purpose of a buy limit. If it goes down to that price, I end up buying it, Sangam. That's why you use limit orders. Okay. So that was pound. If it drops to $1.40, I'm in. Okay. Come on now. You should know that. Okay, so right now this is too bad, is all I'm saying. Too bad. I want to see red. I've seen fire and I've seen Wayne. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just market open stuff. Time of day, maybe. Aussie's good. I'm long Aussie, been long Aussie a while, just kind of letting it find its way. You know, I I could have easily overmanaged this. Maybe I've undermanaged it, right? Yes, I generally manually trade. That is true. But every so often, so like put it this way, Sangam, every so often I say, I'm not going to watch pound, but if it drops to $1.40, I'll buy it. It's just, that's all. There's nothing complicated about it. Wayne, do you use trend lines as support and resistance? Yes and no. The problem with a trend line is it's subjective. You have a trend line and maybe 4% of the entire world has the same trend line. So no, not really. I'm much more horizontal because we could all agree that, let's say, 1.5000 is support or resistance, right? Because like psych levels and stuff. So I spend more of my time looking for buy zones and sell zones. And if I were to use a trend, I might use, standard deviation, which tells me a little more than trend. Okay. Right. And it kind of tells me the same thing that my moving averages might tell me. It's bullish, but oversold. It's bullish, but overbought. Okay. Am I using gain strategy? No. I use analysis, not strategy. Okay. Here's Soros. Here's something. How about this for a strategy? Go to the Reserve Bank of Australia and download their import-export data, and then also analyze Australia's largest trading partners. And you will be able to put together some Aussie trades based on what actually creates the value of the Australian dollar, not what Gain came up with 47 years ago. Okay. Because even if it's right, if you don't understand why, then you're not adding any value. Gain added the value, right? Well, saying him the answer isn't important. What's important is somebody actually does it. I don't care what the answer is, right? 90% of people, like there's a 90% chance, probably 98% chance Soros is not going to do that. Okay. So I'll just cut to the chase. No, I don't use gain as a strategy. I just understand why money is flowing and where it's flowing to, and then I make an investment decision. Okay. None of these, nothing on my charts makes decisions. And again, is kind of, it's one of these things that people trade it because they believe in it. I don't believe in anything. It's like a Fibonacci setup, right? Oh, because look at the skin on a sea star. Look at the cherry blossoms. Look at how coral grows. Look at how, snowflakes are created. It's just like Fibonacci. It's just funny to me. Right? But anyways, yeah. So let's focus on the flow of money, not on mathematical, smoke and mirrors. Cool. All right. So that's that. Yeah, that's that. Let's see if we did rand, we did dollar, euro. I guess we got to do euro. I didn't do euro. Sorry. Let's go back to euro just to make sure we got this going on. So you can see I'm long here. I got my stop close. I'm hero or zero. You can see I did a little non-farm payrolls trade. You're welcome. Do you guys, understand this? Well, in a smaller time frame, I kind of did a like that. Okay? What we call a role reversal, right? This became support. Cool. So now my stop's at essentially break even. So what I want to see is okay. Okay. Yeah, Ahmad. Yeah, sure. I just did the non-farm payrolls on Friday, so anyways, okay, that's the breakout trade. If you remember on FX Street, I published an article on how to create a model for non-farm payrolls, and I offered 2 different trading strategies, and then I offer some sort of trading tip. This is the breakout strategy. Okay, it went through resistance, caught a pullback, gone. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now it's just what happens next. I don't know, but I won't lose money. Okay. 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 Lots of people asking about gold. What do I think about it? I like it. What do you think about it? Okay, let's go back. So I've done this days and days and days and days ago, but let's get back to it. Okay, here's the double bottom. Okay, here's the roll reversal. Here's your second chance entry. Okay, so there's the first trade. Here's the second trade. So very often what happens is people come in and they want to know what to do the next 28 minutes on gold. Well, let's analyze this. The easy money was down here and down here. Okay, what's happening now on a daily, you're kicking off of a daily 21, but you're buying up near resistance. So it's like there's a trade there, but you're quite late, right? It's sort of like showing up at the party and people are already drunk. Like, right? Like, great, good, all right. So as soon as you have a couple of drinks, people are going to be leaving with their girlfriend or passed out in the back room. And you're like, well, this party sucks. Well, you were late. Everyone else had a good time. So now we got this going on. So now what? How do you trade that? Well, you're assuming actually by being that late, a little more risk. But let's see if we can plug some analysis into that. So as you know, that's the daily 21. So I suppose if you're going to use that as the basis of your strategy, if you will, yeah, you'd be buying dips. Okay, you want to look at key price levels. You want to look at price action. You might want to look at Fibonacci. You might want to use daily pivots. So like I could go to, for example, day trading bullish bias. Okay. Okay, and you'll see that you, once again, have already had the opportunity to buy at the daily central pivot point. Okay, which, by the way, you knew on Friday. So it comes down to one of these things. If you didn't buy lower earlier today, there's a lot going on. A, you probably don't have a bias. B, you didn't know that 188.88 was a buy zone, so you're not using pivot points. You're also not using price action, but you're logging into the webinar, 6 hours after a trade, and you're asking, what I should tell you to do. I would study technical analysis and learn how to prepare better. Sounds pissy today. I guess I'm pissy today. Okay? But people that log in and want to know what they should do with gold today, just the question is dangerous. Okay? If you don't know what to do now, you're not going to be able to figure out what to do tomorrow. So anyways, you can measure this multiple ways, any way you kind of want it. You can do it from here and call it a 3A2, which is perfectly fine. Okay. So where this should go today is like, let's test 19 and then probably collapse and then probably catch this tomorrow. Okay. So I've just planned out what might happen tomorrow. Okay, so I have to think through, if today works, where will we go and why? And when we get there, where are we going to continue trending, aka high or low, or is it going to reverse? Well, you filter all that out through your bias. So I'll say RBI continues to buy gold to weaken the rupee. So there'll be less gold in the world, which means the value of gold goes up, and more rupee in the world, which means the value of the Indian rupee goes down. Got it? They're importing gold and exporting rupee. Gold goes up, rupee goes down. Well, that's what the RBI wants. They want to devalue, well, not devalue, but lower the value, which is quite different. They want to lower the value or improve the exchange rate mechanism, right, through purchases of gold and treasuries. So, for example, a week ago, the 10-year T-note, okay, we'll call it that, the 10-year T-note was 1.6. Today, it's 1.58. What does that mean? Somebody has bought the 10-year T-notes. Somebody has bought treasuries, lowering the interest rate or the yield. And who would possibly do that? Well, if the RBI also bought not just gold and silver, if the RBI bought the 10-year T-note, okay, the value of the 10-year T-note goes up, the yield goes down, and the value of the rupee goes down because they exported the rupee and imported the U.S. Treasury, lowering the value of the 10-year, lowering the value of the rupee, but maintaining the balance sheet at the central bank. Yeah, but what should I do with gold, Wayne? Tell me what to do. You should learn technical and fundamental analysis. Okay? The way I teach you is you have to understand the why, not just the what. Okay? But even then, if you were a serious trader of gold, you knew this on Friday, that somewhere around this 1888, let's say, is probably going to be your first buy, and the lower one is down here. Okay? So, again, on Friday, you would have lined all this up. On Sunday, when the market opened, you're like, ooh, still a little overpriced. Round London open, you're like, okay, that's better. I'll take a shot on gold, right? As the London market's open. But what do you do now? You can't go back in time. Okay? So now maybe you can get a second chance and ride this up and bring it back down. But that's your judgment call. But it should be pretty obvious. If you're a bull, I mean, it should be obvious, right? Okay? Okay. Cool. Cool. Nice. Gold. Okay, there you go. There you go, guys. Gold. What you do in the next 30 minutes to make a lot of money on gold? Like I said, if you want to do better trading gold, stop trading gold and learn how to trade. Okay? There's wonderful trades here, guys. There's wonderful trades here. Okay? There's wonderful trades. Cool. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trades. You need to learn how to trade. The opportunities are golden. So, like, I'll give you an example. Our swing trading group, we've set up our trades 2 weeks ago for June. So many of the people in the swing trading group are excited that we're at June 7th. Some of their trades, I believe, are have set up and they've entered and we're in. We're not excited yet, but they're working. Like, many of the trades are working. And over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're looking forward to taking some profits. So when someone comes in like, what do I do now? What do you mean now? Right? We're 2 weeks into a 6-week plan. Think about that. Okay? Isn't that nice? Okay. All right, so Sangam says, it's highly confusing. In 1991, the RBI sold gold. Okay, for what? What did they get in exchange for gold? They sold gold. So somebody must have bought the rupee. Okay. So if demand for the rupee goes up, the value of the rupee goes up. And the supply of gold went up, so the value of gold went down. Okay. Okay. Now, if they take gold and then they buy dollars, okay, then that doesn't affect the rupee. Okay, because they exchanged rupee on the balance sheet, gold. They had gold. Like, think of a vault. On the shelf, they take $1 billion worth of gold, and then they go to the global market and trade with people, take our $1 billion worth of gold and give us $1 billion in cash. Then they go back to the vault and they put the $1 billion in cash on the shelf where the $1 billion worth of gold used to be. As far as a balance sheet's concerned, nothing happened. As far as the Indian rupee, nothing happened. So why would a central bank do that? Okay? Does a central bank do that? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay? Okay. So, yeah. So, Sangam, it doesn't make any sense. And gobbledygoo. So, I don't know what you're reading, Sangam, but it's gobbledygoo. Gobbledygoo. Look at our Noki. Okay. Cool, right? Noki waking up. Remember, I'm basically looking at Brent crude. That's our plan A. Okay. The whole chart, by the way, is only set up as a sell. I would never buy this. Okay? I would never buy this. You have to understand that. And then if you understand the charting tools that I'm using, it's only a bearish point of view. So plan B, as you can clearly see, is sell up in here. Okay, 8.4. Cool. We're now below 8.3 on our way down here. Okay, this is part of the swing trading group, 6-week plan. So at that time, we're saying, well, if you sell it around 8.4, you could take it down to 8. So, 400 pips. Okay. Cool, right? So are we there yet? Oh, no, certainly not. But have the probabilities improved? Yeah. The probabilities say we're probably going to get hung up around here anyways. Let's say 8.2. But we're also throwing in some seasonality and analysis of the global energy complex. Isn't that neat? Okay. Yeah, right, Morena? Exchange your rupee for knowledge. So, yeah, so anyways, there we go. That's called trade planning, guys. And how do I get to the point where I think it'll break this? Like, what gives me the confidence versus just a guess or a bet? Why do I say it comes down to 8.0 or even lower? Well, I look at Brent, and I look at its technical analysis. I look at OPEC Plus, for example, which was recent. I look at the EIA, Energy Information Agency in the United States, the IEA, the International Energy Association or Agency, whatever it is, and I look at British Petroleum, Exxon, and Royal Dutch Shell. And I analyze the information I get from here, plus my general macro econ data. Because remember, when the ECB releases data this week, they will tell us their outlook for their economy, but also the outlook of their trading partners, which I could then just float into here. How does that impact what Exxon or Royal Dutch Shell says about future demand for Brent oil? Is this in line with what OPEC Plus is saying? Is this in line with EIA, which is the counterparty to OPEC? What does the EIA say about this? And I take all this information and then I filter it through seasonality, and then I say, yeah, for sure. Yeah, quite right. Oh, yeah, for sure. And we're heading down here. Okay? That's it. See how easy all that is? If you do the work, it's easy. Why do you think this is going to get a lower low? Why are you so arrogant? Because I'm better than the best. Best believe I'm the baddest. Or at least I did the work, one of the two. Go ahead. All right. What do you stink? Smell like a plan? I'm telling you, if you do the work, you're going to be an expert. I'm telling you, if you do the work, you're going to be an expert. And if you're an expert, people will turn to you for advice and pay you money. And if you happen to be managing their money, they'll pay you a lot of money. Okay? If you babysit their dog, they're going to pay you $20 a day. You retire, you babysit their retirement account, they'll pay you a lot more. So managing money is fantastic, but you have to be an expert. Okay? You have to be an expert. What do you do? What value do you create? I don't know. I want to log into gold and see and throw down a trade and see if I can make money over the next 20 minutes. All right, no value. Now, you might make money, but you won't create any value, which is fine. You can do that too. Okay? 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 Cool. Yeah, and Crypto Rage is quoting Grandma Yellen. Great. All of that is already in my plan that I gave you guys a year ago. More than a year ago now. I'm very much set in my plans. My analysis has created plans, and I'm buying many different assets based on that analysis. And that will continue until the information I analyzed change, which means the fundamental macro conditions have changed, or we will get to central bank policies, in particular in the United States, that will then naturally end the business cycle. But I'm talking about 5,000 days from now. Right, crypto? So that's cool. We'll deal with that 4,999 days from now. I know what I was doing on Friday. And by the way, did you guys see I went from 1,700 pips to 2,200 pips in a live webinar? Right? Who makes 500 pips during a live webinar? But anyways, right? I know what I was doing on Friday. I know what I'm doing today. I know what I'm doing tomorrow, next week, right? The rest of June. I know what I want for July and August. I have casual conversations with my friends and my family. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to buy that in the 3rd week of August. Isn't that cool? I know what to expect the rest of the year from September to December, and I know what I'm planning. I know what I would like to do. I know what I want to do in January and February and March. How awesome. Now, do I know what the market's going to do? No, but I know what to expect. And I know why I expect it. And here's the best thing. If I'm right, if I'm generally right, I will get generally decent trade setups and I'll do generally okay. It's not, godlike knowledge. I have some assumptions based on analysis, but also seasonality and some experience. So I have a general idea what to look for, what will likely happen. And if I kind of get that right, I will get more trade setups than if I'm not quite right. Okay. But I will get trade setups and I'll probably do just fine. I'm not talking about, oh, I got it all figured out and I'm going to make $1 billion trillion because I'm so good. No, I have a general idea what to expect. So when market conditions fit my general outlook, I'm like, oh, I understand this. Oh, look, that's a good trade. I place the trade just like any other trade. And I'll get decent amounts of trade. So I'm like, oh, cool. Nice. This is going well because it's kind of happening kind of like I would expect based on, again, macroeconomic analysis, seasonality, 20 years of experience. It just will seem normal. So I'll make a normal trade. It'll come out as I would expect. But here's the more important thing. If the market conditions change and I'm like, what the hell is this? Well, I guess it's not going to be the 3rd week of August. I think it's going to be the 3rd week of September. And I adapt and I change. Maybe I take the trade. Maybe I don't take the trade. Maybe I have a 50 pip stop. Maybe I have a 30 pip stop. Maybe I move the stop in 1 day. Maybe I move the stop in 4 hours. Well, how do I make those decisions? Because something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't look right. Something is a little early. Something's a little late. And my spidey senses are tingling. I'm like, that's really strange. I shouldn't be seeing this the second week of August. Why is it happening now? Where's the money coming from? Do you understand? Like, I question things because it's not quite right. And that is what is the valuable part. Most of trading should be generally what you expected. So you're like, okay, I think I'll start tiptoeing into positions. Great. But it's when something unusual happens, you're like, well, what the F is that? What? Why now? Who's doing that? Where's that flow coming from? Where's that flow going? What was the point of that? Why now? Like, all of a sudden you're like, question mark, exclamation point, WTF. And you're like, you know what? Maybe you flow into that. Maybe you flow out of that. But that's the more valuable part. Not knowing what is likely to happen, that's called experience. But seeing something that shouldn't be happening. Okay, if I see the move the second week of August, I don't believe it. Fourth week of August, I believe it. Third week of August, I'm tiptoeing in. Okay, so, right? That is where you guys need to get to. Okay, and you'll be fine. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what the Forex trader do. Okay. Sangham says, gold standard was broken in August 1971 by the worst president of the United States has ever seen, who not only was kicked out for being a liar and for spying on his competition, which is cheating, but he also screwed up peace in the Middle East and also prolonged the Cold War by another 10 or 15 or 20 years, whatever it was. So, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So, but the issue with the gold standard is it was actually the French that did it, by the way. The French actually contacted the United States and said, okay, with this $100 bill, we can demand $100 worth of gold because it's backed by the gold standard. So France said, bullshit. You don't have the gold. And the Americans are like, yeah, we do. Of course we do. It's in Fort Knox. And the French said, oh, yeah, we believe you. We totally believe you. Makes sense. You got all that gold in Fort Knox. That's great. We would like our gold back. Here's our money. Give us our gold. And the Americans are like, what? Wait? Yeah. So they broke the gold standard. It was necessary. Anyways, thanks for being in my life. Thank you for all your positive energy. Thank you for all the hard work. Thank you for just being you. I try my best every time to give you something that's of value. Sometimes it's a hug. Sometimes it's a bitch slap. Sometimes it's just inspiration. Sometimes it's just doing the work and grinding it out. Okay? Sometimes I'm frustrated. Sometimes I'm gleeful. Sometimes I haven't slept for 2 days. So thank you for being on this journey. It's not a perfect journey, but it's a real journey. Huh? So I hope you do the work. If I'm frustrated, it's because I feel like people are not doing the work. But then the cool thing is I log into the swing trading group, right? They're paying money. They're putting in time and effort. They're studying. They're working. And there are lots of success stories. And then I say, you know what? That crew does the work. But even if you're not in the crew because you got no money, that's okay. You're on the path if you're doing the work. Yeah, it is a real journey, isn't it, Jean-Guy? Well, I'm ready to plan a get together. I think we're there, guys. I want to put together something. Let me know where in the world you want to go. I might even, the problem is, with family and all that kind of stuff, just never have the time. But maybe I do in the fall, around the world trip. Like I start in New York City and I go. So let me know. It'd be interesting to just go for like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks or something, where do New York. Then we go to London, right? And then where? Where do I go? Is South Africa open by then? I don't know. Where do I go? Moscow? Then where? I guess, right? Before Moscow, or maybe Dubai, right? So after Dubai, where do I go? I want to go to Singapore again. I want to go to Hong Kong again. Scotland. Skip London, go straight to. I'd be into that. That would be such. I'd have to take side trips on that one though. I couldn't just like land in Scotland for 3 days and not go see my castle. I'm a part owner of my family's castle. I'd have to find the spot on the property and everything. Right. Zambia, yeah. Yeah, Dubai. Yeah, I don't know about Zambia. I don't know anything about Zambia. Is Zambia nice? India? Well, yeah, I like India. It'd have to be southern India, but then again, I think Forex trading is difficult in India, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know anything, Thomas, about Zambia. I'd like to do Cape Town, South Africa. Pakistan. Yeah, I heard the Punjabi food is good in Pakistan. And I'm a big fan of Punjabi food. Nepal? Yeah. For Debista, absolutely. Good to see you, by the way. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, we've been talking about Nepal for 10 years, huh? Bangladesh? Yeah, I don't know anything about Bangladesh. Hey, you still doing the news stuff? Yeah, Germany would be great. Yeah, Germany and Poland. Yeah, right on the border. Right. Poland would be great. Yeah, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, that whole thing. Yeah. Like I suppose the standard thing for Poland, right, Joseph, would be Warsaw. There's a college town though, and I can't remember the name of it for some reason. It's just slipping my. Anyways. Will it take me 20 years to be a good trader? No, I don't think so, Roderick. I think I was a pretty good trader 10 years ago. Yeah. Krakow. Yeah, that's probably the town I was thinking of. Yeah. Sorry, I've been watching Nazi history documentaries, and so now suddenly every town sounds like a concentration camp. So I'm like, is it Krakow? Wait, no, Krakow's. I'm like, wait, no, was it Krakow? But anyways, I couldn't remember. But yeah, I know that Krakow is probably the college town, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yeah, I like Dubai very, very much. I know the town quite well. I know where to go. I know I have my favorite places. I got good friends to hang out with, all that kind of stuff. So, that would almost certainly. So it'd be cool to do New York, London. Always stop in Paris just because I want to go to the Ritz. Zip over to Dubai. We got to do Hong Kong or Singapore. You know, okay. Will CPI melt people's accounts like it did BTC? No. So anyways, cool. Let's plan something out. It might be Mauritius. Yeah, it'd be interesting to go to places that I don't know. I do like that. I do like that idea. And maybe I skip Hong Kong and do Shanghai. Shanghai's nice. I'd like a little more time in Shanghai. I haven't been to Beijing for a long time, and I want to go back just for the duck. But see, some of those places I just wanted to do with the family. Okay. Yes, you will need to get vaccinated before you can travel. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, Salim. Typically I try to stay at the Ritz in the Marina. Do you know what sure you are? It's a great place to hang out. It's on the water, but I love hanging out there. It's absolutely fun. Best car show in the world is at the Ritz-Carlton Marina in Dubai. Just love hanging out at the cigar bar across the street, drinking my coffee. Yeah. Well, the other Ritz-Carlton is not that great in my opinion. The one up in the financial district, it's just not that great. The location's all right, but I don't prefer it. Okay, cool. Well, we got to do that, man. We got to do that. We got to do that. Let's get together. We have to make it an event of some sort, so right, so we can write it off on our taxes and pay for the expenses. So we'll do something. We'll get together, like it'll be a 4-hour get together to talk about macroeconomics, and then we'll go have dinner and cocktails. Cool. So anyways, Rand is doing fine. Norway is rolling over as expected. Peso, Oscar Mike, really nice there. So it's the really disappointing one right now is Kitty Cat. Good recovery in Aussie, good recovery in Kiwi. Cool, man. So, all right. Big fella. The vaccine will kill you 100% guaranteed. Okay. Yeah. Well, right. There are many things that will kill me. That's probably lower on the list, in my opinion. But, okay. You love the financial district. Yeah, you know what? Like 15 years ago, Ahmed, I stayed more like at Jumeirah Towers. I've stayed there 2-3 times. So if I'm up that wing, I'm probably doing Jumeirah Towers. All right, cool. And of course, Burj Al Arab. Stayed there once. It was nice. All right. Cool. So this was a day. I hope you're on it. I will see you tomorrow. So we'll do it this way. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. See you tomorrow, huh? Cheers.